Now, when I was making a tutorial about the most beautiful chord progressions, that has yet to be finished by the way, I stumbled upon a very super interesting chord voicing. And it struck me when I was listening to Julian Bradley, who was playing it on the piano on his channel, and he called it the Kenny Barron voicing. The wide intervals in this awesome voicing sounded so open and beautiful, and at the same time so uncommon and ambient, that I had to explore this voicing to the caverns of harmony. I took the red pill to see how deep the rabbit hole goes, and in this video I want to share with you what I found and how we can play these piano chord voicings on guitar, because that might be a little tiny problem. Well, maybe a little big problem. But do not worry, because I found a way. So prepare yourself for Wonderland. Now, what we are going to explore in this tutorial is a way to play minor 7, dominant 7 and major 7 chords in a very wide interval voicing. The voicing is associated with the famous jazz piano player named Kenny Barron, who was born during the Second World War and who is still performing upon this day. Now, he played with numbers of famous jazz musicians, and among them Dizzy Gillespie, Stan Getz and flamenco and fusion guitarist Paco de Lucia, to name a few. Now, one of the things that has been present in his style is a voicing built on fifth intervals. Now, the voicing typically fits the idiom of quartal and quintal harmony, so it is a modern and open sound. Now, let's listen to this voicing before I go on with the explanation. Now, isn't that a wonderful sound? And it gets even better when we choose the right progression later on in the video. Now, to understand the Kenny Barron voicing, we have to know two things. One is the structure of minor 7/11 and major 7 sharp 11 chords. And two, we have to understand what quartal and quintal harmony is and what it does with the sound. Now, in a major key, for instance in C major, we'll find minor 7 chords on the 2nd, 3rd and 6th degree. D minor 7, E minor 7 and A minor 7, all built from a tonic, minor 3rd, perfect 5th and minor 7th degree. To every minor 7 chord in the major scale, we can add the 11th or call it a perfect 4th, depends on how you look at it. We'll get a D minor 7 11 by adding the note G to the D minor 7 chord, because the note G is the 4th and 11th note in the D minor scale. And we'll get an E minor 7 11 by adding the note A to the E minor 7 chord. Again, the note A is the 4th and 11th in the scale of E minor. And we'll get an A minor 7 11 chord by adding the note D to the A minor 7 chord. D is the 4th and 11th note in the A minor scale. In a major scale, we'll find two major 7 chords on the tonic and the 4th degree, subdominant chord. And both chords are built from a tonic, a major 3rd, a perfect 5th and a major 7th degree. Also, these chords can be extended with an 11th. Adding the perfect 4th to the C major 7 chord will give us the C major 7 11 chord. But when we listen to this chord, it is actually a terrible sound. The 11th F really doesn't sound so good. In fact, this 4th degree in a major key is called an avoid note because of this dissonance. So often the 11th is raised to the sharp 11th, so an F to F sharp, and that sounds much better and even beautiful. A real Lydian vibe with that sharp 4. Now we'll do the same with the F major 7 chord and add the note B to the chord. And this creates an F major 7 sharp 11 chord. Also a beautiful Lydian sound. So that's clear. Now just one thing left to know, and that is something about quintal harmony. Now overall 11th chords sound a bit modern and maybe a bit undefined. And that is because of that 4th degree. In the E minor 7/11 chord, for instance, we have a root E, the minor 3rd G, the 5th B, the minor 7 D and the 11th A. Now if we omit the 5th B, which is a common thing to do anyway, we're left with 4 important notes of the chord. Now the thing is that these 4 notes can be spelled as a so-called quartal chord. A normal chord, or better a tertian chord, is built by stacking third intervals like E, G, B, G, for instance, chords that we play every day. The distance between the notes are all third intervals. But in quartal chords, the chord is built by stacking fourth intervals, and this results in an ambiguous sound. And this chord shape looks and sounds like this. So playing the three minor 7/11 chords from the previous chapter in this way, we'll hear a modern quartal sound. It's just a bit different, and that changes the mood while playing the same chords. Now then we have to know that the fourth is the inversion of the fifth interval, and the other way around, an inevitable consequence of nature. Now this means that every quartal chord can be rearranged to a quintal chord, which is a chord built from stacking fifths. Now we can change the quartal voicing E, A, D, G to a quintal voicing G, D, A and E, so all fifth intervals. The sound is still the same, ambiguous and undefined, but now the sound is much wider. So now you know about minor 7/11 chords and quintal chords, and that is all you need to know for the Kenny Barron voicing. Now the concept of the Kenny Barron voicing is straightforward. Every minor 7 and major 7 chord is changed in a certain way. Now first we'll look at the minor 7 chord that becomes a minor 9/11 chord in the Kenny Barron voicing. Now we'll play the root and stack 2/5 on top of that. It's the 5th and the 9th. Now from the 9th we move up a semitone to the minor 3rd and again stack 2/5 upon that minor 3rd. And these are the minor 7th and the 11th. Now so the interval formula is now 5th, 5th, 2nd, 5th, 5th. Even on a piano, the chords are a stretch for piano players. And piano players with small hands will have a hard time simply because of that physical challenge. Now the Kenny Barron chord has 6 notes, so on a guitar the voicing is impossible when playing in normal tuning. Except for the Kenny Barron voicing of the minor 9/11 chord on the root E, that can be played as an open string. And also the third G in that chord is an open string, which means that we have to fret only 4 notes instead of 6. So the root E is the only root note that can be used on a standard tuned guitar to play a proper Kenny Barron voicing. And to illustrate that it's really impossible, look at this shape with the root A. If you find a way to play this chord, please let us know. Mutants excluded. Sorry mom. Still, we have 2 workarounds that enables us to use this extraordinary voicing. So let's see what they are. Now first let's see what we can do without changing the tuning of the guitar. Now because it's almost, if not completely impossible to play full Kenny Barron voicing chord shapes on your own, we can invite a friend to help us out. Now for that I'll show you an arrangement for 2 guitars of a progression with minor and major 7 chords that we will change to Kenny Barron voicings. The progression we are using is in the key of E minor, and it looks like this. We have an E minor 7 followed by the 3rd degree G major 7, the minor 5th degree B minor 7, the borrowed 4th degree A major 7, again the 3rd degree G major 7, the Dorian 2nd degree F sharp minor 7, and the last chord is a tritone substitution for the dominant chord, the flat 2nd degree F dominant 7. Tritone substitution creates a nice sound and brings the music back to the tonic in a surprising way. Now, let's change the chords following the Kenny Barron voicing. So the chords can be played like this with 2 guitars. this is one way to evade the physical limitations of the human hands. Now, let's see what else we can do. Now, if you don't have friends or only friends that are motorically challenged, then there's another way. It is the way of the Kenny Barron tuning for guitar. You literally tune the guitar to a C minor 9/11 chord. Thick strings and a multi-skill neck are welcome for this extreme tuning that goes from low to high, C, G, D, E flat, B flat and F. And if your first string can hold it, you could go up a semitone. Now, one day by accident I ordered 5 sets of strings for an 8-string guitar that I used to own. So now is a good time to actually use them. I'll take the 7th up to the 2nd string, so that's 0.58 to 0.12. Ready! Now, after retuning, the guitar neck looks like this. Now, in order to play an E minor 9/11 chord, we only have to play a bar chord like this. And also an E major 9 sharp 11 chord is easy too. Just play an extra bar chord with the ring finger or second finger next to the original bar chord. And also the E dominant 7 sharp 11 chord is playable too. So you see, these chords are very easy to play with this special tuning. Now the whole progression with this tuning looks and sounds like this. Every chord can be played in arpeggio, right? So why not play these chords in an arpeggio too? We'll get a serious wide interval arpeggio that can open up the sound, let alone color the sound in a beautiful way. Now the minor 9/11 arpeggio, according to the Kenny Barron voicing, looks like this. We'll play 2/5, a second, and again 2/5. For the major 9 sharp 11 chord, according to the Kenny Barron voicing, we'll have to raise the minor 3rd to a major 3rd, the minor 7th to a major 7th, and the 11th to a sharp 11th. And this sounds like this. Now, although this particular voicing maybe is more suited for piano than for guitar, it's still a great voicing that you can actually use on our instrument. Maybe by recording 2 tracks or retune the guitar, the result can be awesome and very different from what we are used to play. It's a beautiful new sound, a new color, a wide and open voicing, and it adds a bit of ambiguity to your progression. Well, I hope it was useful and that it gave you some ideas and inspiration to try this out yourself and explore the possibilities on your own or with the whole band. Who knows what crazy sounds you can make, right? Now finally, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, but you like the content, then why not subscribe now and receive a notification when I got a new video online or published a new ebook, for instance. And are you looking for supporting material? Chord sheets, tabs and so on, just take a look at my Patreon page, because there's a load of things you can download from there. Anyway, for now, have a great day and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching and bye.